remembers when Patrick was so dumb he made his rock home look smart?
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Several seasons later, he's one of the dumbest characters in cartoon history.
It's a reward.
Harsh, I know, but true. And Patrick's not the only one who's gone through some changes over the years. For a show that first aired in the 90s, it was bound to happen. I've gone from episode to episode and sailed through the whole of Bikini Bottom to find which characters have morphed from barely noticeable to identity crisis to downright unrecognizable. Let's kick it off with Larry the Macho Man Lobster. Glad to see that Larry the Lobster's always been flexing his muscles and lifting weights like every other normal lobster in the sea. Glad they kept the originality, but I did notice they switched a few things up. Let's start with his looks. If you didn't notice in that brief muscle flex with Neptune, Larry the Lobster's appearance was more of a peach light red hue with sort of lighter lines defining his back muscles. Way different from how he looked several seasons down the line.
Rump in a riptide! I gotcha, bro!
Good to see he's still rescuing fish who shouldn't need saving in the first place. Anyway, you can definitely spot the difference from his first appearance. His shade's darker now, with bold black outlines across his back. And if you still don't see it, just check out his clothes. Now, you gotta understand, Larry the Lobster's always been one of those background characters thrown in to add a little spice to the show, right? But over time, I guess the creators figured out that we needed a few more abs on screen, so they gave him more screen time.
Did someone call the fire department?
I mean, I highly doubt the capability of those firefighters, but the real question here is, why the hell do you even need a fire service at the bottom of the ocean? Like, seriously, why is there even fire down there? Actually, no, there is real-life fire under the real-life sea. I just learned that today. No time to question Bikini Bottom physics, though. You get my point. Larry the Lobster went from a background character to a not-so-minor one with a much better build. Still, his whole responsible gym bro persona stayed the same.
Oh, look at those meatheads. That's some impressive muscle hustle.
Oh, and one more thing. Larry the Lobster doesn't just stick to lifeguarding. He's been through a whole circle of career paths, from his usual post as a lifeguard at Goo Lagoon to running his own gym, and then taking on one very unexpected job.
Here's your order, sir. Don't forget your side salad.
Talk about a heavy dinner, but totally not out of character. Our next character with little to no changes has got to be the second thing closest to Mr. Krabs' heart, his daughter Pearl.
You've ruined all my birthday parties, but you better not ruin this one. Promise me you won't be cheap.
I promise.
Good, because I made a list. Now I want everything on this list at my party.
A birthday list that long shouldn't even exist. Pearl Krabs is another not-so-minor character that started off mostly in cameos and scenes centered around SpongeBob. For her character design, Pearl hasn't had any noteworthy tweaks that we can talk about, just a tiny upgrade to her signature cheerleading outfit. What I do notice is a mini change in her personality, though. Pearl started as Daddy's not-so-little girl who spent most of her time crying or spending his money.
No way, so many shells! Huh?
Finding a scene where Pearl isn't talking about shopping is like Plankton actually getting the secret formula. Over time, though, her relationships with the other characters started to shift a bit. First off, her dynamic with her dad changed. Early on, Pearl was a spoiled brat, sure, but at least she'd help out around while spending Daddy's money. Later seasons, yeah, she dropped the helping part and kept the spoiled.
Yeah, Dad.
How's it going?
Fine.
What you up to?
I'm talking on the phone. Isn't there something you need to do?
Well, actually, I was hoping you and I could do something together.
Get out! Get a job, get a hobby, because I can't take it anymore!
Teenagers, am I right? I know Mr. Krabs can be a little too up in her space, but she didn't have to kick the poor guy out of his own house. Luckily for us, Pearl shows us a bit more balance in the newer episodes. Not too bratty, but just bratty enough to stay true to her character. The same goes for her friendship with SpongeBob. It crashed hard, but somehow managed to level out in the end.
I guess that turned out have to be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like whale, like crab, because in this next category, it's the moneymonger himself.
Money, money, this, money, money, that. What? Profits down $3 from last month. I gotta start running a tighter ship around.
Any tighter ship than this, and SpongeBob wouldn't be able to afford renting his own pineapple. Mr. Krabs is one of the main characters and obviously a fan favorite, unless you're me. Now, the big question fans keep throwing at the writers is, why the frick is he a crab and his daughter's a whale? Valid question, but what I'm more curious about, who's Pearl's mother?
Ahoy, Mr. Krabs.
Mother of pearl.
Kinda gives me an idea for another video. Comment below what you think. Back to Mr. Krabs though, he's a simple man who's always stayed true to his core. Money-obsessed, greedy, overprotective of his secret formula. His overall design hasn't changed much over the years, but his character sure has. Mr. Krabs started out to be a greedy yet fatherly boss.
You really think so, Mr. Krabs?
I do, son. Here's your paycheck I owe you. A bonus. Well, there's your paycheck anyway.
Now, while he was definitely using SpongeBob for his own benefit here, Mr. Krabs still had a bit of a sweet side to him. Fast forward to the more recent episodes, those fatherly traits have been completely tossed out the frackin' window. He's become the kind of guy who'd sacrifice anything and any sponge for a few extra bucks. Or a nickel.
I love my job. Hey, Mr. Krabs, what's the good word?
There's 2 words. They're not very good. You're fired. What? I've been doing some calculating, and it turns out that I'll save a whole nickel.
No surprise there, just a bit sad for SpongeBob. Although he does redeem himself, kind of. It goes to show how he's embraced his darker, greedier side. Let's not forget his love life with Mrs. Puff, where we saw a part of Mr. K we never saw before.
I'd like to introduce you to my boss, Mr. Krabs.
Hello?
Mr. Krabs, say hello. No, Mr. Krabs, just say hello.
Perhaps another time.
Yowzers! Dude's freaking out more than his teenage daughter. Surprisingly, their relationship actually lasts, although it goes off and on, no thanks to Mrs. Puff's anger issues and Mr. Krabs' cheapskate lifestyle. But hey, at least we got one successful relationship in the show, kind of.
Is this seat taken?
It is now, sailor.
Up next, we have Texan pride genius, the one, the only, Sandy Cheeks. Kinda embarrassed to admit this, but this was actually the moment I found out Sandy's actual name.
Patrick?
Well, Pat, the new you gets an A+.
Why, thank you, Sandra.
Sandra Jennifer Cheeks. Typical landwalker name. Sandy's one main character who somehow leaves me with more questions than there are barnacles in the sea. Her first appearance in the episode said all we needed to know about land squirrels.
Sorry, old clam. Y'all need to learn some manners. They're about as ugly as homemade soup.
Yeah, that's one heck of a first impression. Their first meeting was so rad that SpongeBob lied to her about being able to breathe air just to get in her good books. But there's only so much air a sponge can take.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You know, you're the first sea critter to ever visit.
Besides looking like dried crackers, that's the moment SpongeBob and Sandy really hit it off as buddies, which is pretty chill, because early on, Sandy was cool, smart, and tough. The main tweaks to her character were mostly in her gear. Her signature spacesuit went from rocking a simple 3-dotted badge.
All right, y'all can ride in the cargo hold if you just...
Yeah! Moon ride.
But this time, just don't touch anything, okay?
To an acorn badge.
To the salty spittoon. How tough are you?
How tough am I?
Yeah, she's a real tough nut to crack. Besides the outfit touch-up, Sandy's kind of had a bit of a character switch, from full-on astronaut to tapping into her mad scientist era.
Sandy? Sandy, are you okay? What's wrong, Sandy?
They're coming. They're coming.
See what I mean? That's not the only change. We all know Sandy can get quite competitive. But these days, like a lot of characters in modern SpongeBob, she takes things a tad too far. Like when she turned jellyfishing into a competitive sport to disastrous consequences.
And the slammer!
I'm the queen of jellyfish field.
Losers!
I don't like it.
She once even had a heated debate with SpongeBob and the gang about who was better, land animals or sea creatures. And things got so intense that she literally put her life at risk.
Oh, I don't need this suit. And I don't need this helmet neither.
That's only the second season. By season 9, Sandy was ready to eat raw chum just to break a record. By the way, the last guy who did that only lived 30 seconds.
Record holder did for 30 seconds.
It's your funeral.
Sandy, eat up.
SpongeBob, I've chained my boat.
Don't worry, she survived. Barely. All in all, I'd say Sandy's mostly still the same slightly insane squirrel we all know and love. Luckily, luckily, we won't be seeing any more of that where we're headed, and that is straight to the characters that frankly should be experiencing an identity crisis. First up here is our main villain in SpongeBob, Sheldon Plankton. This tiny guy is always full of evil surprises, so it's no shock that a few minor design tweaks popped up over the years to match his microscopic size. Now, these differences were really tiny, so don't beat yourself up if you missed them. The first thing I had to squint to notice was, in fact, his size. 1 minute he's the size of a Power Ranger, the next minute he's the size of a Megazord. Here's a perfect example.
You blasted barnacle head! Hi.
Plankton?
Ouch!
What do you want?
I just want to talk.
Guy don't take no for an answer. There, he's basically the size of a bacteria, but in season 8.
Let's ask Plankton. He's a geezer.
What stupid question do you want the answer to, idiot?
It's like a copy and paste of the same shot, but you can definitely spot the difference. Next on the list is his eye, well, pupil to be precise. Back in the early seasons, they had this pinkish red hue to them that gave him a more sinister vibe.
Stealing me booty! When I discover your formula, I'll run you out of business. I went to college!
A few seasons later, they morphed into a whiter look.
His dance moves are impressive, but I'm in control. Seize him! No!
For someone who's dedicated his life to stealing the Krabby Patty formula, Plankton really sucks at being an evil genius. The dude can't even steal candy from a frackin' baby.
The key to the Krusty Krab. He's a little bigger than I imagined. Whoa! No! No!
Get this, while Plankton's failed at stealing the Krabby Patty formula more times than there are fish in the sea, he's actually evolved over time. In season 3, we finally saw Plankton using tech in a way that made him feel like a genuine villain instead of a pesky fly. But starting from season 4, his schemes started getting a bit smarter, his gadgets more advanced, and for once, it almost felt like he was making progress. Of course, that whole plan ends up in the trash, as usual, but that's not the only change in his villain arc. Around 2007, from season 5, Plankton's ambition really grows wings. It's no longer just about making the chum bucket better than the Krusty K, the guy actually goes full-blown supervillain and takes over the whole of Bikini Bottom. Dude actually wins, for like 5 minutes. But as always, SpongeBob and Pat don't give him enough time to celebrate, which honestly might be for the best, because over time, Plankton slowly but surely starts losing touch with his evil side. This is really good for a married man because at the start of the show, he treated his wife like this.
You're a WIFE, Wired Integrated Female Electroencephalograph.
You're not a real wife. You're just a computer. Plankton, don't you dare!
That is just diabolical. Or should we bring up the time he got tired of her and built an entirely new robot wife? But he actually sat up starting in season 6, and this is where their relationship stands now.
I'm floating on air. A balloon ride. And our wedding song is playing. This date is perfect.
No, you're perfect.
What a sight for sore eyes. It's nice to see Plankton treating Karen like his wife, not just some glorified calculator he barks orders at. So while he's still very much conniving and obsessed with that Krabby Patty formula, there's definitely more heart hiding behind that single eye. If we're talking about sour characters that turn a new leaf in the show, then we definitely can't leave this guy out. That's embarrassing. Squidward Tentacles, or maybe you'll recognize him better this way.
Gotcha! That's terrible! Let me help you with that.
Now that's more like the Squiddy I know. He's easily one of the characters who's gone through the most physical makeovers in the show. Seriously, Squidward's changed so many times, he might as well be the chameleon of the sea. In his earliest appearances, Squidward Grumpy Pants Tentacles had a noticeably darker green tint. It was either that or we'd have to sit through that obnoxious clarinet playing again. These days, though, he's shifted into more of a green-blue tint, basically turquoise, a subtle change, but one that makes him look a bit softer, even if his attitude didn't get the memo.
Remember, Squidward, service with a smile.
May I please take your order?
Yeah, that's way better. More obvious physical changes to his looks were one-offs that reverted to normal at the end of the episode. A perfect example is handsome Squidward. Some folks argue that Handsome Squidward is the best SpongeBob episode, and honestly, I can see why. That chiseled jawline broke the internet. For such an old episode, his handsome face remains a meme factory to this day. But that wasn't his only glow up. His next temporary makeover, he went full on Squidzilla.
I look horrible!
Even though his kaiju look was just a phase, some huge changes never reverted to normal. I'm talking about his massive ego that went through the roof. Now, even though the writers have already made him out as a gloomy, grumpy, narcissistic neighbor, he's become that in double fold. A great example is the time he read SpongeBob's diary.
If I hear the Bikini Bottom municipal anthem, take off all my clothes and dance around in my underwear. Quiet. Watch this.
Squidward has done some horrible things, sure, but reading someone's diary out loud in public? Oh, despicable me. And don't even get me started on Patrick standing in the crowd giggling like it's a frickin' comedy show.
He named it Fifi. He named his spatula Fifi. Fifi! Look at it, Fifi!
Your time is coming, Patrick Star. Now things take an even darker turn. In the early episodes, Squidward was grumpy, yeah, but with neighbors and coworkers like SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs, everyone understood him. In the more recent episodes, though, he's gone beyond mere annoyance. He's scheming and actively plotting to get rid of Spongy Boy.
Yep, it was off. How'd I do?
Horrible! I wish you would just move away already!
Not only does he convince SpongeBob that he's allergic to his pineapple, he also couldn't care less where SpongeBob ends up, as long as it's far away.
How about this spicy number?
Oh, who lives in a hot pepper under the sea?
Up next is a character whose evolution wasn't exactly in your face, but they definitely didn't go unnoticed. Plankton's wife and partner in crime.
I'm the fastest computer alive.
Karen, the computer wife. Now, for the smartest computer in Bikini Bottom, you'd think she'd know better than to marry a one-eyed formula thief. Let's just blame it on her programming, shall we? One of the more significant changes in Karen is her appearance. While she didn't evolve from an abacus, she definitely wasn't always built like this.
This is the perfect opportunity for revenge. Befriend the SpongeBob. Then, when the timing is just right, take the Krabby Patty. Get moving, genius.
We already know Plankton's gonna flop that plan, but that's not the point. Back then, Karen was just some giant wall monitor in the lab dishing out evil ideas and supporting Plankton. Not much wifey duties like we see later in the show. After that, she kind of moves from being a desktop to getting her own set of wheels.
I guess I have no choice but to turn up the settings on my vacation app.
I don't think that's such a good...
Poor Plankton. At least her heart was in the right place. I guess that's why Plankton upgraded her from a moving AI wife to a moving AI wife with hands.
There you go, Spat. I killed him!
Besides her looks, Karen's also gone through some major system upgrades, like she became more human-like than just some moving robot. You can really see that in the episode Plankton Gets the Boot.
Plankton!
Wow! Can't you see I'm working here?
But I wanted to show you my new screensaver.
Great.
You didn't even look.
You can always count on Plankton to treat his wife like she's just some piece of hardware. Oh, but wait. That don't excuse his attitude, and Karen's fed up at this point. And honestly, who wouldn't be after your husband says your screensaver makes your processor look fat? We see Karen glitch, crash, and even catch viruses, but this time she turns on wife mode and gives him the boot.
You know what? No one talks to me like that. Get out!
This is my restaurant and no one can make me... Come on, Sugar Lips. I'm sorry for everything I said. I accept your apology. I wasn't talking to you, idiot!
Ouch, yeah, Plankton totally deserves it. In his desperation to find shelter, he moves in with a certain obnoxious sponge. Good thing is, this knocks some sense into him and makes him see how annoying he is. But rather than change and act like a good hubby, Plankton decides his best move is to try and make her jealous.
Chum for you and for your lovely robot bucket of grease.
Plankton, I don't want to eat this.
Don't you ruin this, just eat it!
Nice try, but Karen saw underneath the charade. Who knows, maybe part of why she changed so much is because her motherboard was adapting to all of Plankton's villainous shenanigans. Still, in true Karen fashion, she forgives him in the end. Now that we're done with the appetizers, let's get straight on to the main course meals. Which characters morphed so badly or goodly in the show that they're almost unrecognizable? I know you guys will be shocked to see that the first on this list here is the Grim Reaper of the Bikini Bottom, the Flying Dutchman.
Horrible thing, and boom!
You big
Now, you try.
Yeah, I'm shaking in my Navy SEAL leather boots. The Flying Dutchman is another antagonist in the show, but unlike Plankton, this ectoplasm-covered ghost had supernatural powers at his disposal. He's gone through a bunch of different phases over the years, but fun fact, his voice actor has stayed the same the entire time. His personality, though, almost bipolar. One minute he's terrifying.
Ooh, scary.
Oh, that's impossible!
Fast forward to season 7, and he's doing whatever this is.
I've been saving this beauty for a special occasion.
Real smooth. He first officially set sail in the series back in Scaredy Pants, where SpongeBob SquarePants was so easily spooked on Halloween that he thought dressing up as the Flying Dutchman was a good idea.
Come on, SpongeBob. It's little kids. Is it a scare?
Trick or treat! All right. It's the haunted mattress.
Hey, here's your candy.
No, please. That was enough of a treat.
How embarrassing. That costume was so frackin' half-baked, even a barf bag would have been scarier. And of course, that ticked off the Flying Dutchman big time. It also don't help that the whole of the Krusty Krab makes fun of him.
It's the real Flying Dutchman. You bet your lily white livers I'm the Flying Dutchman. I'm going to steal your soul.
While everyone's lives are flashing before their very eyes, SpongeBob saves the day by revealing a unique hairdo under his costume.
Rid of this stupid costume.
Hey, what do you know? I scared him.
Now that's how you scare people. But seasons later, the Flying Dutchman loses his scary outlook and begins to give off a more comic relief vibe. We're talking about less spooky transformations, fewer talks about Davy Jones's locker, and more goofy moments that just prove he's another quirky character drifting in the sea. And that's just one scenario. This character switch happened in the 4th season in Ghost Host. This episode kicks off with the Flying Dutchman losing his home to a shipwreck, and the closest shelter over his head was a certain pineapple.
Residence.
Flying Dutchman! What are you doing in my house?
I'm here to haunt ya.
Definitely not what anyone wants showing up in their home. Back then, the Flying Dutchman was at his most menacing, turning SpongeBob's life into a full-on nightmare, haunted house and all. He wasn't just doing it because that's his thing, he enjoyed making SpongeBob's life miserable. But let's be honest, there's only so long jump scares can stay scary. Ooh, no ghost wants to hear that they're not scary, so you can imagine the Flying Dutchman takes it pretty hard. Realizing he's lost his touch sends him into a full-on ghostly depression, and that's when we start seeing his more vulnerable, even playful side, really. Oh, and one more thing. Turns out the guy's a bit of a womanizer. Not very successful one, but still.
Oh, yes, we'd have so much in common.
Is that a wedding ring?
Oh, this holds nothing.
Up next, we got a character who's gone through one of the biggest personality shifts in the entire show, Mrs. Penelope Poppy Puff, or as everyone likes to call her, Mrs. Puff. We don't talk about Mr. Puff.
It's again failed your driving test.
But Mrs. Puff,
No buts, SpongeBob. You fail this test over and over. You're simply unteachable.
You didn't have to be mean about it. What if I told you she wasn't always blowing her top? Let's roll it back to the tippity top of her time on the show. Mrs. Puff started out as a sweet boating school instructor, kind of a motherly figure to SpongeBob. Sure, she had her short-tempered moments, but hey, she's a puffer fish.
Now, what do you do next?
Floor it?
Yes. No, don't floor it.
Okay, floor it.
No.
You know what? Sometimes I don't even blame Mrs. Puff because anyone would lose their minds and will to live here. I mean, SpongeBob has failed his driving test more times than we can count, and that means her life has probably flashed before her eyes just as many times. This is when her character began to take a nosedive. Literally.
Look out!
Okay, that's not fair. It's not your fault, Mrs. Puff. You just ended up with the most unteachable student in all of life. And because of that, she goes from being a simple boating school teacher to a full-blown ex-convict. You can already imagine that slowly but surely, she begins to have major PTSD and anxiety. They're gonna need a tighter straitjacket for this one. After years of emotional and mental trauma, Mrs. Puff finally snaps and we witness her full villain origin story in Demolition Doofus. After SpongeBob causes a major accident that leaves Mrs. Puff looking like a dried pickle.
From now on, I guess we'll have to call you Mrs. Pop. Mrs. Puff, I'm sorry. Mrs. Puff tickles.
Graduate out of my life!
She really can't catch a break. Not only is she in the hospital, but she's stuck with the sponge who got her there in the frackin' first place. That's when Mrs. Puff comes up with an evil plan. She signed SpongeBob up for a demolition derby with very high hopes.
I could finally be rid of SpongeBob forever.
Luckily for SpongeBob, he somehow manages to get himself out in one piece. But hey, if this proves anything, it's just how far Mrs. Puff is willing to go to be free of that sponge once and for all. The next side of Mrs. Puff that we see in season 15 and more recent seasons is a bit more refreshing. She's turned over a new fin, so to speak.
I've dealt with his kind before. No, I am not going back to the slammer.
No more getting thrown in jail or plotting ways to get rid of Spongy Boy. Instead, in this episode, where a brand new driving school tries to teach her students and run her out of business, Mrs. Puff decides to give it her all to the only student who doesn't abandon her.
SpongeBob, time for your next lesson.
It's the middle of the night.
Tonight's lesson is late night driving.
It was so weird and almost scary to see Mrs. Puff eager to teach SpongeBob for once. And right when she runs out of business, she even becomes reliant on him. Well, not exactly reliant on him, but rather on his destructive driving abilities to get rid of the new teacher.
Good luck.
The trick to being a licensed driver is going once around the block.
Genius plan, if you ask me. So although we still see her crazy side, it's been watered down a whole lot thanks to all that serving time. Which takes us to our next character, the happy-go-lucky main man of the show, SpongeBob SquarePants.
That is the stupidest dance move I've ever seen.
Who put you on the planet?
As the face of the whole thing, SpongeBob has gone through some of the biggest changes, from his art design to his personality, and depending on who you ask, those changes were either cute or too much. Let's start with his looks. SpongeBob's original design had a far more classic feel to it. Okay, now of course changes in animation style were bound to happen, considering the fact that the show started in 1999. And well, there's been a lot of tech advances since then, obviously, but other things to notice are how his eyes and smile changed from this.
For years I've been dreaming of this moment. March straight to the manager, look him straight in the eye. I can't do this!
To this. Oh, and his sponge holes look different too. When it comes to his other physical traits like his voice, SpongeBob's been pretty consistent since day one, still voiced by the Tom Kenny. But concerning his famous laugh, SpongeBob's laugh has been through a roller coaster of pitches. Here's him laughing in the very first season.
Did you order 20 cases of wristbands?
High-pitched but mild in a way. Then here's him laughing in season 4 when the height of his childishness began. It, kind of stayed that way. When Steven Hillenburg took a step back from his own creation, things definitely started to shift. The characters, especially SpongeBob, became way more exaggerated. Not only did SpongeBob's look change, but he also started to overdo everything.
Grill is gone. The grill is gone! The grill is gone! The grill is gone! The grill is gone! The grill is gone!
Go down, buddy. In the season 10 episode Mimic Madness, for example, SpongeBob finds out that people find it hilarious when you mimic them. As the people pleaser that he is, what does he do?
Are we
we having fun yet, Squidward Tentacles?
Totally accurate, and at first, everyone does find it funny, but there's only so much of that you can take before it starts feeling like you're watching a bad impression of yourself. Eventually, everyone's just done. But instead of SpongeBob picking up on the hint that his antics were turning into one long dad joke, his childish side takes over and he completely breaks down.
Go away.
Yeah, I'll be having nightmares tonight. Even though the gang stepped up to help, there's just no saving SpongeBob from himself, I guess.
Good morning, Gary. Karate chop! Wah!
I said eat your patties!
I can't do it! I'm a freak! A freak!
Should have quit while I was ahead. Didn't expect my SpongeBob episode to come with a side of body horror. And at last, at my top spot in characters that have morphed the most, we have, of course, Patrick Star.
Krabby Patty, start.
I need a little mustard for the Krabby Patty.
Don't be fooled by his naive dumbness. He's not the Patrick Star you know. Okay, well, he is, but let's start from the early seasons, okay? Patrick Star was originally a really chill dude, okay? Dude would sleep in his rock home for days, give dumb replies with every chance he gets.
Gee, Patrick, I didn't know you spoke bird.
No, that's Italian, SpongeBob.
See what I'm saying? Dude was literally the class clown. But above all other things, he was SpongeBob's best friend and confidant. Even though he wasn't really helpful, he still tried his best in his own way. The two were literally the Tom and Jerry, Rick and Morty, Phineas and Ferb of Bikini Bottom. Okay, maybe a few of those weren't the most accurate comparisons, but you get what I'm saying. They were like this.
Right by my side. Clothing that announces our feelings for each other. Let's get him, Patrick.
Can I help you, boys?
My best friend and I would like to purchase... Patrick, why are you crying?
You found a new best friend?
This isn't what it looks like!
Epic tomfoolery. When it comes to looks, Patrick Star hasn't changed too drastically, just a few touch-ups here and there. I mean, to be fair, there's not really much to change. For one, he wasn't always rocking that single tooth look.
Hey, look, Patrick, you just lost a tooth.
Nope, he used to have full-on dentures.
Yes, and the pain is coming from your adult tooth trying to push your baby tooth.
That's not right!
It's the natural way. Want the pain to go away, then I need to extract the tooth.
I kind of wish the creators had stopped at just the minor tweaks to his character, but nope, they went full throttle. Patrick Star goes evil. And it wasn't like he was obviously evil. We're talking about weaponized incompetence and selfish acts. The first episode we see this in is in I'm with Stupid. Here, Patrick begs SpongeBob to act like a fool just so he can look good in front of his parents.
Grab my dad's hand. Grab it with only one hand. Now move your arm up and down.
Really hard to watch. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to impress your parents. We've all been there. Most of us. And Patrick's always been there for SpongeBob. But this?
Only somebody with holes drilled in their head would wear that stuff. And how about this shape? I've heard of barrel-chested, but never box-chested.
That's just all shades of wrong. Definitely not what a good friend does. And it doesn't even stop there. Patrick has put SpongeBob in harm's way more times than we can count. Don't even get me started. Dude's gone as far as stealing his best friend's job in season 4.
Hey, Pat!
Totally not fair. As his stupidity skyrocketed through the roof, so did his temper. Patrick wasn't the chill, fun-loving starfish we all knew.
Nobody calls me dummy!
And by season 7, he hits an all-time low of being a greedy best friend, quote-unquote.
Pal. Now can I see it again, Patrick?
What? I thought we were sharing it. Aren't you supposed to be working?
Unbelievable. He just keeps getting worse as the show goes on. Fans despise this attitude because packed with all these antics, his newly amplified stupidity wasn't even funny anymore. It was more like forced stupidity.
That's a brainstem.
Like, who the hell joins a club for idiots. Still in season 12, in an episode called Patrick's Tantrum, we learned that Patrick throws an epic tantrum when he hears the sound of a bell. Honestly, I think that's just code for a psychotic breakdown.
Good job of fighting with himself.
And if that wasn't bad enough, Nickelodeon went ahead and gave Patrick his own spin-off called The Patrick Star Show, made to supposedly expand SpongeBob's universe or something along those lines. Yeah, Steven Hillenburg wasn't exactly thrilled about that one, and judging by how it turned out, neither were the fans.
Oh, Fire! Who's your latest flame? Come on, Fire! Trying to ignite conversation!
What a train wreck. I mean, even little kids said the show was overdoing the whole dumb comedy thing. As Patrick morphed into this new, angrier version of himself, fans started to despise him, and honestly, I cannot blame them. And if you're into train wrecks, you'll want to see which character is morphed the most in Family Guy. Just click the link on screen and don't forget to hit subscribe. And as always, thank you very much for watching.